The trick to going to auctions and finding things that you can make money on is preparation. And that preparation can come in many forms. That preparation might come in you learning about one specific model and knowing everything there is about that model. You might study the F-150. I've got an F-150 that I bought at auction here behind me. And you might study every possible thing that goes wrong with a certain gen of F-150s. You might study what this code means and what that code means and what this check engine light means and what this ABS light means and what this traction control light means and what this battery light means and all of those things. And when you learn all of that, then when you go to the auction, something that scares someone else away, you might know, oh, that's easy. I know exactly how to fix it. Or you might know, oh, that is a horrible fix. I am not touching that. And both of those require you to have knowledge and help you make more money. See, I bought this F-150 behind me with a battery light on. And after changing the battery and after changing the alternator, that battery life went away. So next time that I see an F-150 at auction with the battery light that's going on and off and it's intermittent and it's lower RPMs but not high RPMs and all that stuff, I know it's probably going to be the alternator because that's what it was on this one. Now, could it be something else? Absolutely it could. But it gives me a leg up because of that knowledge. Now, here's some other knowledge that you can take, and that is planning ahead. So the local auction that I go to has an auction once a month, and I currently have a list of cars that they have for sale. Now, they add them up until the day before, so I'm going to be checking back. But right now I have a list of 11 different vehicles at that auction and what I believe I can resell them for. So that knowledge tells me, okay, I know I can bid up to X because I know I can sell it at Y. And even if there is something wrong with the vehicle, as long as I know, okay, I'm getting the vehicle for X, I think it'll cost me this much to fix, I want profit of Y, then I can sell it for this end price. I know how much money I should be making, assuming everything pans out. So let's say, for example, I go into an auction with no knowledge and I find a great car. It doesn't have any check engine lights. It doesn't have any ABS lights. It doesn't have anything wrong with it. It runs and drives perfectly. It's an amazing car inside and out, perfectly clean. And I buy it for $5,000. And then I hop on Facebook Marketplace and I see that everything on Facebook Marketplace is selling for around $5,000. So now I'm going to have to hold on to that car for a long period of time to try and sell it at a higher price. I'm going to have to take a loss on it because I didn't do my research ahead of time. Or I'm going to have to hope that that one person comes along who wants the absolute perfect car because yours is a little bit cleaner than somebody else's, or maybe has a few thousand less miles than somebody else's, or whatever the case might be. But I would much rather go into the auction knowing, okay, this car, a bunch of them are listed on Facebook Marketplace for between $5,000 and $6,000, which means they're probably going to sell. Okay, if they're listed for between 5 and 6, the sale price of them is probably going to be somewhere between 4 and 5. Because if a bunch are listed between 5 and 6, then that means no one's buying those at between 5 and 6. And if there's none listed below 5, then that tells me somewhere in the 4 range is going to get me a faster sale. So when that car goes up and it starts getting bid up and starts getting bid up and starts getting bid up and it starts crossing over that, for me, it'd probably be $2,000 range, $2,500 range, because you're talking, you got to pay your tax, your title, your tag, your auction fees, etc. Anywhere above that $2,000 to $2,500, I'm out. I'm not buying that car. Because if I think I can sell it for between 4 and 5, let's just say that's going to be $4,500 after somebody talks me down or whatever the case might be. So let's say $4,500. If I'm going to buy it and it's $2,500 after the auction fees, which they charge 10%, plus they charge a dock fee of $125, that's going to put me at $28,50, $28.75, I think. And then I've got to pay my tax, title, and tag on top of that. So here in South Carolina, you have to pay $385 per car with the title that you transfer. So that's another $400. So that's going to push me up to $3,200, let's say $3,300. And then you also have the other taxes and such stuff on top. So I'm going to be probably at $3,500. And that only gives me $1,000 profit, which, okay, sounds great. But what if you get it on the way home and something breaks, or something was covered up, or the check engine light was not on, but now it's on, or whatever the case might be. So now I'm going to be losing money on that car, or at least making a couple $100 because I didn't plan ahead. So whether it's auctions, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, whatever the case might be, is knowledge is the answer. Know what you can sell the car for. Know what problems the car might have. Know what possible issues that specific model might have. All of those things are going to give you a leg up on the competition. And if somebody else buys that car and overpays for that car at the beginning of the auction because it's great and it looks nice and blah, 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 that means I can pick up cars like this F-150 behind me, towards the end of the auction, which I did get this towards the end of the auction, for cheaper because they've already spent their money on cars that they're not going to make a whole lot of money on.